Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And I hope you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to Hedera and Hbar, especially with some big moves being made just recently. But first, I do want to talk about Consensus, because Consensus is a massive event, and this is going to be happening on May 29th through the 31st. And of course, Hedera is one of the major partners within the pipeline at Consensus. There's going to be a lot of things happening around this event, specifically, some insights about how Hedera is disrupting specific industries and really, pertaining to the idea of like real world utility, how they are doing it. So I'm very excited about this event. Obviously, one of the largest events out there. We have 15,000 plus attendees, 6,800 plus companies, 850 plus investors, 750 plus media, 100 plus countries, 3 trillion in assets under management, and so many more. Now, as we really look at this, you can see all of the major speakers here. You could also see companies that attend Consensus. Check this out. You can see all of these big names. It's pretty crazy to say the least. But I mean, like, if we really look at this, and we see major asset management companies, we have MasterCard on here, we have Visa, there's major banks like Bank of America, PayPal is going to be there. It's very, very exciting to say the least. And Hedera being one of the key sponsors. If we actually go over here, see Stellar, XRP Ledger, Circle, Filecoin, and then we also have Hedera and so many other great names. What I find very interesting about this is the DTCC being one of the major sponsors here. I mean, if we scroll down, we could see the DTCC here. It's very interesting because this is, a company that is processing transactions valued at $3 quadrillion. Like it's crazy to me. Like it's just crazy. And the global head of the DTCC Digital Assets is going to be their managing director. And it just kind of shows you the connections that are going to be at these big events like this. Love to see Hedera being represented here. Also love to see the focus on real utility in the real world as well being focused on. So very exciting stuff. Now, also before we continue on, I just want to let you guys know that the free Discord just got a massive upgrade. If you guys do want to join the free Discord, there's going to be a link down in the description below, as well as in the comments below. You guys can go and get access right now to the free Discord. And also you can get 7 days as a free trial in the premium section, which is typically $100 per month. But there are so many insights, so much information. I'm also there 24/7 pretty much, providing insights within the premium section. So if you guys do want to go check this out, you guys are more than welcome to, with links down in the description below, as well as in the comments below. The free Discord is something that you have to be a part of, especially right now as the market is heating up. So with that being said, let's go over here. So Hedera is proud to express our support for a floor vote for HR 4763, the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, FIT 21, alongside fellow industry leaders in digital assets and blockchain. Now, this is a big deal, because as we do start to see a lot more discussions happening around regulations for crypto, we really look at clarity, right? We need clarity for the space. We also need regulations, because that's one of the biggest obstacles to mass adoption of this technology, specifically around the institutional side. So as we really look at this, right, this is going to be a historical bill. Now, is it a perfect bill? No. Is it going to be, something that really brings clarity for the space? It could be, right? Like, this could be the start of something very interesting. Now, also over here, we have today, Blockchain Association members sent a letter to Speaker Johnson and also Rep. Jeffries in support of a floor vote for the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act. Our member companies are working to improve financial services and build a better internet, but need legislation that offers a framework for innovation, regulatory clarity for U.S. operators, and protection for users and consumers. Legislation must include pro-innovation and pro-consumer guardrails to ensure a fair and safe marketplace and to safeguard U.S. technological leadership in this cutting-edge space. And also, the policy issues facing our industry are complex, and passing this legislation in the House will enable further discussion and debate in the Senate. Therefore, our members urge the House of Representatives to vote yes on H.R. 4763. So, yeah, I mean, this is a big deal. And even when we open this PDF file, guys, check this out. So, down here are all the major names that are in support of this. I'm sure that you probably see some very large names that you guys are aware of. Right off the bat, I'm seeing Solana, Polygon, Ripple, Stellar. There's some very, very large names on here. And of course, Hedera is one in support of this. This could very well bring in clarity for the space that we have been forever longing for, but the SEC has just failed to really kind of provide it. And some congressional members like Patrick McHenry did comment on this. We have this week, the House is taking a monumental step towards providing regulatory clarity for the U.S. digital asset ecosystem. The Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act will spur innovation and secure consumer protections for market participants. So, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a game changer. And, you know, it's something that we have been, like I said, longing for because this space is tired of being attacked from all fronts by the SEC. I mean, how many major players in the space have been attacked by the SEC? How much money has been lost to the SEC? How many retail investors have been hurt by the SEC? I mean, it's insane to say the least. So now, as we really look at this, Congress does have a chance to provide clarity for these crypto assets. And I think that this is definitely going to be one that everyone should be watching for, because this could very well be a massive, monumental game changer for this entire industry. Now, also over here, we have from Bloomberg Crypto, as the House plans to vote on the Crypto Framework Bill FIT21, Crypto Council for Innovation CEO Sheila Warren says it's groundbreaking, even though it's likely to get rejected by the Senate. And yes, it is. It most likely will. That's why when we really look at this, like, it's not going to be all right, yeah, it's going to get passed through. Like, no, there's going to be a big obstacle in the way, which is, of course, Senate passing it. But listen closely.
For us, this represents the most significant response to industry calls for regulation and regulatory clarity that we've seen. This bill, as Kaylee noted, has been around for quite some time, kicking around, and it is groundbreaking. It is absolutely groundbreaking and looks to solve problems that have been talked about for quite some time. So our view, I think, as industry actors, is if we're not going to support something that addresses things in a way that we've been looking for, what are we going to support, right? The politics of this are really complicated, as Kaylee also noted, extremely complicated. But in our view, this does have bipartisan support. We are seeing an unprecedented collaboration between the Ag Committee, the Financial Services Committee, and a true bipartisan push from many folks across the aisle to get this thing across the line, particularly in the House.
Sheila, I'm curious about the polling that you have either internally or that you've referred to internally, and to what extent exactly voters actually care about crypto. So what can you tell us whether or not they actually care about this?
Yeah, Tim. So I think, people vote or don't vote for many reasons. Okay. And I do think that crypto holders tend to be voters. And so when we have actually polled likely voters, so we don't poll just like every, random Tom, Dick, and Harry, we poll likely voters. And overwhelmingly, they are in favor of crypto regulation here in the United States at the federal level. So when you consider the fact that you've got a huge swath of from across the parties, from Republicans, Democrats, Independents, over 20% are ownership of crypto, digital wallets. This is an innovation that is, as Tom Emmer has said, as Representative Emmer has said, we're in the digital age, and we're only moving there faster and faster. So when you look at younger demographics, when you look at people of color, when you look at rural versus urban, there's not a real divide in terms of who's looking to digital assets, who owns them, and who holds them. Now, again, people vote for many reasons. But I do think that crypto and the lack of movement on crypto regulation gets a lot of airtime, and not just from the industry. And I think people are very frustrated by that. They want to be able to access these assets. They want to know they're doing it in a safe and sound way. They want to know that they're being protected, and they want American companies building in this space. So the answers are very clear in my mind, and that's the reason you're seeing so much, I would argue, outsized attention being paid to this one area.
And I really agree with this, right? Because this is a major step in the right direction, but we still need it to get passed, right? We still need something to provide clarity for the space, especially if we do want these assets like Hbar, for an example, to become extremely valuable, because the use of the network is what matters. We won't get there without proper regulations. We won't get there without clarity. That's what we are looking for. That's why, as a utility maxi in the space, we do look forward to seeing these major moves happening around providing clarity for the space. And that's why, I have been always talking about what happens in the long term, because there is going to be a day where we get clarity. Once we have clarity for the space, it's game over. It's game over for the, hype and speculation. The only thing that will be providing value to the space is utility. That's why we focus on the fundamentals. That's why we do, the full breakdowns on what's happening behind these projects. That is very significant to know. But I already said this, right? August 3rd, 2023, I said standardization, regulation, implementation, and utilization. This is the stages to full-scale adoption of blockchain and DLT. We are on the regulation stage. The final two will happen quickly once regulators are in place, or once regulations are in place. I hope you have prepared accordingly. And yes, this is exactly what we're looking at, right? Once regulations are in place, then it goes to implementation and utilization. And a lot of the implementation is already happening. A lot of these big institutions are already here. And in fact, over here, Monica Long, president of Ripple, already told us this. Some of the biggest brands in financial services like Goldman and BlackRock and Fidelity, they actually built their products and offerings in bear markets, meaning they see the bigger picture at hand. So I think what's going to really, be different about this year is the institutional embrace and takeoff. Check this out.
But if we zoom out, what's exciting to me is over the longer arc of time, we're seeing growth and maturity in Web3. And I think a lot of that, and what's really exciting about this latest cycle to me, is real institutional adoption. If you think about it, some of the biggest brands in financial services like Goldman and BlackRock and Fidelity, they actually built their products and offerings in bear markets, meaning they see the bigger picture at hand. So I think that's what's going to be really different about this year is the institutional embrace and takeoff. But if we...
And we're already seeing that. Right? Like, as we really address institutions, they are here. They are embracing the technology as well. Tokenization, that's the big deal, right? Like, this is the thing that we have been focused on heavily, is because tokenization is so huge and institutions want to embrace it. They're already here, tapping into it. This will continue to become a much hotter narrative. What we have from Arcix, tokenization can unlock liquidity and efficiency for assets like funds and securities. Trailblazers like Aberdeen and Arcix are leading the way by tokenizing RWAs on blockchains like Ethereum and Hedera. And we have the rise of crypto regulation and digital assets adoption. And over here, this is a substantial breakdown. I'm going to go over here and summarize it. We have the institutional adoption of digital assets is poised to revolutionize financial markets. The approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US has paved the way for increased investor exposure, with the UK institutional investors also gaining access despite retail investor restrictions. A survey by EY Parthenon indicates that 45% of institutions with over $500 billion in assets under management are now willing to allocate 1% to digital assets, reflecting a significant shift in attitudes. The evolving regulatory landscape is crucial for this change, with global regulators working towards clarity and integration of crypto products with traditional financial markets. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority has registered numerous crypto firms and is developing regulations for stablecoins and other crypto assets. International efforts, like those by International Organization of Securities Commissions, IOSCO, aim to create unified regulatory frameworks. Also, MiCA. Remember, MiCA goes live this year. That's a big game changer around crypto regulations. But we also have real-world asset tokenization is a significant trend, offering new financial products, liquidity through fractional trading, and operational efficiencies via smart contracts. Examples include money market funds and tokenized bonds, which enhance transparency and settlement speeds. JP Morgan's Onyx blockchain, processing over 1 trillion in transactions and launching a tokenized collateral network, exemplifies institutional progress in tokenization. Institutions are exploring tokenization of commodities with notable projects like Santander Bank's pilot for tokenized agriculture commodities. Decentralized finance also presents opportunities for traditional firms to develop decentralized versions of existing financial platforms. Improved regulatory clarity will enable institutions to establish robust market infrastructure, facilitating a significant transformation in the digital asset landscape. And yes, regulatory clarity, guys, it puts everything into overdrive. That's why we focus on this. Like, as we really look at things, like, yeah, these major institutions are now willing to allocate 1%. That's nothing too crazy, right? Like, we're looking for them to allocate 10, 25%. how do we get there? Regulatory clarity. That's what people are missing out on, right? Like all these big moves made by BlackRock and JP Morgan and this bank and that bank, like, yeah, they're great, but they're small steps versus what they are willing to do once regulations are in place. And tokenization, the crazy thing about tokenization is like we're still looking at this as billions. That's what's crazy to me. Is like tokenization is not just for billions. It's for trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. Like we just talked about the DTCC over here as being a sponsor at Consensus. Guys, they're moving $3 quadrillion per year in securities transactions. They want to tokenize securities. We know that they want to tokenize securities. So if we're talking about $3 quadrillion moved per year in terms of securities transactions, imagine how big this space will be once regulations are in place and once these big names like the DTCC are fully embracing tokenization as a whole and DLT and blockchain. Now, is it going to happen overnight? No, it's going to take some time. You know, think about it like this. Like as we really look at clarity around the space, it's still ongoing. We're still waiting for clarity. And it's been, you know, think about like Ripple, right? Like they got targeted by the SEC 4 years ago almost. So it's been a very long time. And there's still zero movement happening around clarity. But we're getting there. Closer and closer every single day. And once clarity is in place, like it's game over. Utility will erupt in value, in utilization, and adoption. And specific projects like Hedera, XRP, Stellar, XDC, Casper, Quant, these now become the dominant blue chips in this space that have massive valuations tied to them. I strongly believe that. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.